Did I have a whole reading vlog planned out to post yesterday? Maybe. Did that happen? No. Is that light really, really bright? Yes, it is. Okay, we're gonna fix that. Is it still washing me out? I'm too pale. We're gonna go with that. I had a whole reading vlog planned to post yesterday. That didn't happen. I feel like today's a little chaotic because this is not the video I had planned, but it's the video I'm going to record and post because I was planning a reading vlog. That obviously just didn't happen, so we're going with this. So I've seen like a bunch of booktubers I follow doing like the mid-year freakout tag like around now. So I figured I might as well, because I had completely forgotten that was the thing until I started seeing the videos being posted. I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that. So it works out. And I've only looked at, I think, the first 2 questions on this list, so I figured I would just go in blind and see how chaotic this video ends up being, but at least it's only going up a day late, which is good, hopefully. It'll probably be going up late tonight, but we're thriving here. Anyway, what that is all to say is this is not the video I had planned, but it's what we're going with, and I feel like it's gonna be fun. Oh, there we go. Now the lighting's dark. Okay, hold on. Okay, now we're in business. See? I told you it was gonna be chaotic, so just go with it. If you've already made it this far, thank you. Please consider subscribing and liking the video and everything else. But that's a really rambly intro just to say we're doing the mid-year freakout tag. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I feel like I'm super behind on my reading for this year because I wanted to read 200 books this year and I've read like 82, which is great. Like, that's amazing. Like, 82 books is amazing. It's just I am a little behind, so maybe in the second half of the year, which it's crazy we're like halfway through 2025 already, but we're not thinking about that. We're just thinking about books and reading plans. So without further ado, let's get into the mid-year freakout tag. Okay, so first question is the best book that you have read so far in 2025. I have 2, but one of them I am going to save for the next question because like I said, I've looked at the first 2. Past that, I have no idea. But the one I'm going to say is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've had friends recommend this to me like a year or 2 years ago, and it took me like a long time to read it, but I'm glad I finally did because it was so good. If you don't know, it's like following a rock band in like the 60s and 70s mostly, I think 70s, and it's told like an oral history where it's like interviews with all of the band members and people close to them. It felt like it was real. Like, I don't know how else to explain it other than it felt like it could have been a nonfiction, but it was somehow fiction that Taylor Jenkins Reid just came up with, which is wild to me, but I love it. It was amazing. 5 stars completely. I could reread it right now. Like, it was so good. If you've never read it, I would definitely recommend the audiobook because that was so good. And I still need to watch the TV show on Amazon because I've been wanting to do that, and I still haven't. But I will be doing that eventually because I really want to watch it. But yes, I think my top book is, excluding the one I'm about to talk about for the next question, is Daisy Jones and the Six, just because it's so good. And I know I'm late to this, but if you are like me and somehow still have not read it, go read it because it is that good. It is that good, I promise you. Question 2 is the best sequel you've read, and this one is technically a prequel, and it is also technically like one of my top 2 books of the year. Say it with me, everyone. It is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I mean, what can I say? It's Hamish's backstory, and it made me cry. And if a book makes me cry, it's basically an automatic 5 stars. Because books don't always make me cry. This one made me sob like a baby. I'm not joking. We all know what Sunrise on the Reaping is about at this point. It's the 50th Hunger Games, the second quarter quell, and everything you thought you knew, I promise you, you do not. You think you know. If you haven't read it, you think you know. You don't. You do not. And it might be my my favorite book of the year, but I didn't want to put it for 2 categories, so I'm putting it as the best sequel, even though it's technically a prequel, but we're going with it. I have not read a book in a series that is as good as this one this year. So we are going with it. This is another one that you should just go read, especially if you love The Hunger Games and still have not gotten to this one. Read it. It will destroy you emotionally. You're welcome. it was amazing. Like, it hurt, but it was amazing. Like, Suzanne Collins ripped my heart out on multiple occasions throughout that book, and I still loved it. It was amazing. What else can I say that I haven't already said? I feel like it was amazing. I loved it. It was perfect, and I will take no criticism of it at all. I cannot wait for the movie. Like, actually, the casting is perfect. Like, the casting is actually perfect. Anyway, I'll stop rambling about it because I could probably talk for like 30 minutes if I actually went into the plot, which I'm not gonna do yet. For now, we'll see. But anyway, I'm not gonna like ramble for 30 minutes about Sunrise on the Reaping because I could, but I'm not going to right now. So, that is my best sequel, prequel, whatever, of the year, and also kind of my best book of the year. Continuing on. So next question is, new release you haven't read yet, but you want to. Originally I was going to say Famous Last Words by Jillian McAllister. Very excited for that. And then I remembered that Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club by Martha Hall Kelly has like just released a couple weeks ago, and I have it. And I just haven't read it, but that is the one I'm most excited for because I've been waiting 2 years for this one because Martha Hall Kelly was like teasing this one when her last book, The Golden Doves, released. And I can't wait because it's World War II historical fiction written by Martha Hall Kelly. I am here for it. It's going to be 5 stars. If it's not 5 stars, I will be absolutely shocked. But I did talk about this one in my June TBR, so if you want more coherent thoughts about that, go check out that video. But yeah, I am so excited for that one. I can't believe I almost forgot it, but I did almost forget it. But I am rectifying the situation because I almost said Famous Last Words. But in fact, the one I cannot wait to read is Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club. I can't wait. If you love historical fiction, please go read Martha Hall Kelly's books because they're all so good. They're so good. Next, in mostly the same vein, is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. This is kind of a three-way tie between Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, Glorious Rivals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Those are 3 of my favorite authors. What can I say? I'm so excited for all 3 of those. If I had to pick one, I can't choose honestly between like Not Quite Dead Yet and Alchemy of Secrets because both of those are those authors' adult debuts, and the plots of those both sound so good. Because Not Quite Dead Yet, you have a girl or a woman who is solving her own murder, and it's gonna be tragic. I already know it just from the blurb. It's gonna be tragic. And then in Alchemy of Secrets, you kind of have the same thing, like where this girl has been told that she's going to die like at midnight, like the next night or something, and she has to find this like lost alchemical artifact, like the alchemical heart, or I think that's what it's called. She has to find that to be able to, you know, not die. So it's kind of the same vein, like solving your own murder and preventing your imminent death. Kind of the same vein. One is just fantasy and one is thriller. Both are by great authors, and I can't wait for both. Glorious Rivals is the next installment in like the Inheritance Games universe thing, which I'm very excited for, but I do think it's a little bit below the other 2. So I'll give it a tie between Not Quite Dead Yet and Alchemy of Secrets because I can't wait for those 2. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Next is Biggest Surprise. I'm not sure, actually. Okay, hold on. Let me look and see what books I've even read this year. Biggest surprise. I don't know. I feel like I'm rarely actually surprised with books because I know my reading taste so well. There we go. Storygraph was not loading. I feel like I know my reading taste so well that it's like books rarely like surprise me unless they're like bad. You know? Like, I can usually tell if I'm going to at least like a book, but as for surprises, let me look at like 5 stars and 4.5s. Like, a lot of my 5 stars are actually rereads. Daisy Jones and the Six wasn't, like, Daisy Jones and the Six I had DNF'd previously, but I knew I was going to come back and enjoy it, so I don't think that was necessarily a surprise. Is this a sign I need to branch out my reading taste? Maybe. I don't really have anything in 4.5 and 5 stars. Let me try 4.25. Okay, I would say it goes to this one, actually. I do have one. And I would say that my biggest surprise is Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. Because I read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center last year and I really enjoyed it. So I knew I enjoyed Catherine Center's writing, but I didn't expect that I would love Hello Stranger so much. That is the book that got me out of like the months-long reading slump that Sunrise on the Reaping put me in. And I did rate it 4.25 stars. Looking back, it may have been closer to a 5-star, but we're sticking with 4.25. It's fine. But I would say that was my biggest surprise because I knew I was gonna like it, but I didn't know I was gonna love that one that much. It was just a really sweet rom-com that had a good plot. That's what gets me. Like, if I will read a rom-com if it has a good plot to go along with it. So we have a portrait artist who has suffered a head injury. Yeah, I think it was a head injury. I read it like 2 months ago, so forgive me. She suffers a head injury and she ends up having facial blindness, like, and she doesn't know if it's going to be temporary or permanent, and she's trying to win this, I don't know if it's like what it's called. It's like more prestigious than a competition, but she can't draw portraits, so that's happening. And then she's like kind of falling in love with 2 guys and she's got to navigate that. It's just really good. Like, just read it if you enjoy rom-coms or just anything like that. I personally loved it. It was great. And that is probably my biggest surprise of the year because I didn't expect to love it that much. And now for the opposite end of that is my biggest disappointment of the year. I feel like it's going to be a 2-star because the 1 stars I didn't really expect much from. I haven't read that many bad books this year, which is great. I have one that may be considered like the biggest disappointment. I don't know. I guess I'm just going to go with the one that's kind of a disappointment, kind of not, which is I'm Not Done With You Yet by Jessie Cusitanto. I remember nothing about this plot, like, at all, which is horrible. I read it back in January. It did not live up like to Vera Wong and the Dial A for Auntie series. It just was not the same level as Jessie Cusitanto's other books. I still love her as a writer. I just did not vibe with this one. Like I said, I don't really remember the plot. It was just sort of there. I didn't love it. I didn't like actively hate it. It was 2 stars. I am not going to reread it and just add it to the reading goal and move on. Like, that was probably my biggest disappointment because the 1 stars I have from this year, like, I didn't expect anything out of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't expect that they would be a 4 or a 5-star. So I would say I'm Not Done With You Yet is probably my biggest disappointment. Still love Jessie Cusitanto though, and yeah. That's it. Honestly, I'm not mad that I don't really have any disappointments because my reading year has not been bad at all. Like, I've had a lot of 4 and 5 stars, actually. We have favorite new author, debut, or new to me. I'm not sure. I don't know, because, like, I don't know. Who have I read that's new this year? New to me, at least. I could kind of say Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I have read One True Loves by her, so I guess that's not technically new to me. So we won't say Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was my first historical fiction by her, so if I don't find anything else, I'll just go with that. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, maybe India Holton because I read The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love, and I did enjoy that, and I do want to continue with the series. But, like, she's not, like, a new favorite author, if that makes sense. I guess I'm just gonna go with, like, kind of India Holton and kind of like Taylor Jenkins Reid, but historical fiction. Because I really don't have any it's horrible, but like, it's either like the author's, like, that's their first book, or I've read them before. Like, my favorite books of this year, like, it's author's first book, I've read them before, or I've, you know. I don't know, so I'm gonna go with like Taylor Jenkins Reid, but her historical fiction, because One True Loves is very, very different from Daisy Jones and the Six. And then we'll go also India Holton, which The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love was good. It was a 4-star. Wasn't great. I do want to continue the series though, because it was a good, like, I get kind of fantasy, like romance. It was good. It was good. I would say probably more Taylor Jenkins Reid, but historical fiction. I don't have a good answer for this one, like, at all. I don't have a good answer. That's what we're going with, though. And I told you this video was going to be chaotic, and we're just going with it. We are just going with the chaotic vibe. So, yes, that's my answer for this. It's not a good answer, but it's mine. Okay, so next is newest fictional crush, and I don't know. Like, I genuinely do not know. Like, I thought about saying Wit from What the River Knows and Where the Library Hides, but I did read What the River Knows last year. So, I don't really have any new ones, you know? Like, because I either started the series last year or, you know, I'm not sure if I have any new ones. We may just go with Wit because I read the sequel this year. That may be the only thing I have. Because, like, I don't read, you know, like, a lot of, like, I don't read a lot of rom-coms, and the rom-coms I do read, it's, like, kind of, like, I just read it for the vibes, and I don't, like, get attached to the characters. So we're going to go with Wit, because I did read Where the Library Hides, and he redeemed himself. If you know, you know. I think, in my opinion, he redeemed himself after What the River Knows. So we're going to go with Where the Library Hides and Wit. We're just going to go with Wit from What the River Knows and Where the Library Hides because we love him, and that's all I got. My answers are so bad. Like, they are so bad. I didn't prepare. I went into this blind, and we're just going with it. We are just going with it because I need to post a video, and I'm kind of unprepared this week. Okay. Moving on from this question, because I don't really have an answer, I only kind of have an answer. Moving on. Book that made you cry. Sunrise on the Reaping. I don't know if any other books actually have made me cry this year, but that's the one definitely that has made me cry the most. And we're going with that because I would be lying if I didn't say that one. I know it. I've already said it for 2 categories, kind of 3. But it's Sunrise on the Reaping. It is the book that has made me cry the soonest because 30 pages in I was already crying. And I like cried a couple times through it, and then the ending like hit me right in the heart. And that made me sob. So Sunrise on the Reaping, that is the one that made me cry. Yeah. I'm still not over it, by the way, and I probably will cry when the movie comes out. So, yeah. Okay, book that made me happy. I don't know. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my 5 stars. I don't want to do... Oh, I don't know. I think I do have an answer, though, and it's really, really cheesy, but we're going with it. And we're going to go with Mr. Nice Spy by Tiana Smith. This is just a cheesy spy rom-com. It was funny. I liked the characters. It was not fine literature, but I really enjoyed it, and it did make me happy. So we are going to go with Mr. Nice Spy, which is the second, I guess it's a duology. It's the second book in Tiana Smith's My Spy series. It was fun. It was silly. It was very unserious, and I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that. So that's what I'm going to go with for a book that made me happy is Mr. Nice Spy. The next question is most beautiful book you've bought so far or was gifted to you. Okay, so I've technically bought it, but I don't have it. So I will find like a picture, but I think the most beautiful book that I have gotten, and I spent way too much money on it, we're not talking about that. I have been on a book buying ban and I have stuck to it. So it is okay that I bought this set. The LitJoy Caraval box set. If you've not seen it, I'll put like a picture if I can find a good one. It is gorgeous. I spent way too much money on it, but I'm so obsessed with it. I pre-ordered it. I don't remember when exactly it's going to be shipped and all, but I'm so excited for it. It's gorgeous. It is so gorgeous. Is this kind of like not the exact prompt? It's kind of not, but I have bought it. So I have spent money on this. So we are counting it. I just don't have it in my hands yet, but it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And it's justified because I have not been buying like regular books like for the past couple of months, which is amazing. I bought like 3 books like the past few months. So we are counting this, which is a LitJoy Caraval box set, because I'm so obsessed. I love it so much. And yeah, we're just not going to talk about the price tag. Don't look up the price tag unless you're buying it, because yikes. But oh well, it's fine. It's fine. I could be spending my money on a lot worse things. So That is the prettiest book that I have bought so far this year, and I can't wait to actually have it in my hands. Top books I need to read by the end of this year. Okay, I have a couple, two right off the bat that I know I want to get to that have both been on my TBR for so long. Is 30 Seconds Over Tokyo by Ted W. Lawson. It is about the Doolittle raid on Japan during World War II. It's a really interesting story if you've never heard about this, and it was written by one of Doolittle's raiders, which is Ted W. Lawson, obviously. And I've had this book for like almost 2 years, almost 3 years. No, almost 2 years. It's only been 2 years, like 18 months, but I've had it for a while. And I need to read it. And then the other book that I know I want to read that has been on my TBR for a minute, and I am going to have to get the audiobook because there's no way I'm not be actually able to read this. It is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Look at me, I'm trying to be all literary and things. 2 seconds ago I'm talking about a spy rom-com, and now I'm saying I want to read Anna Karenina. Honestly, why not? But I have wanted to read Anna Karenina for a while. I've had like the audiobook checked out like multiple times on Libby and just have not gotten to it. But before the end of the year, I really do want to read Anna Karenina. I put it like on my 25 books to read in 2025 list. 30 Seconds Over Tokyo is also on the list. So those two are the main ones that I really, really want to get to. Like there are a bunch of other books that I'm excited for and want to get to, but those two are the ones that like I want to get to just to be able to read them, you know? But yeah, I would say those two are the ones that I'm definitely, those are my top for getting to read this year. Next is what do I want to reread this year, and I'm going to say the Hunger Games trilogy, and I might do a reread of Sunrise on the Reaping and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes already. But I make no promises, but I do kind of want to do a reading vlog of like the original trilogy at least, and then maybe a second reading vlog of the prequels. We'll see. I make no promises. That may never happen. I want it to happen like maybe in July. But I do want to reread those. I also kind of want to reread the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes because I read that 2 years ago and it's amazing. It is like Teenage Criminal Minds basically. And we love that. Like, it's amazing and I do want to reread that. But I would say my top priority for rereads is probably the original Hunger Games trilogy because I want to reread it with the information we have now, because Katniss was just gatekeeping so much information, and now that we have that information, I'm excited to see like what changes with the original trilogy and just put myself through emotional turmoil because why not? Okay, next is a book that I keep putting off. I'm not sure. Let me go to my TBR on Storygraph. What's a book I keep putting off? I mean, I do kind of put books off, like 30 Seconds Over Tokyo and, oh, I know, I have two that I definitely want to read are both World War II, like, memoirs. One is Lily's Promise, and one is The Daughter of Auschwitz. I have very much wanted to read those two for a long time since I bought them. I think they are going to be very well written and very good. It's just, it's heavy subject matter, and it's not, you don't always want to just pick up an Auschwitz memoir. I mean, I have read quite a few of them, and I think they're very good for what they are, if that makes sense. Like, if you have read things like this, you will understand what I'm saying. I do really want to read these, and they are definitely a priority for this year. It's just I have put them off because you don't always want to read those kind of books. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to read those, and I've definitely been putting them off, and I would like to read them before the end of the year. So, I would say that's probably the books that I've been putting off. And I don't want to say I have good reason for putting them off. It's a weird situation talking about books like that. If you know, you get it, I'm sure. Alright, next is a book that I enjoyed that has mixed reviews. What am I gonna say for this one? I don't know. I do not know. I might go with Where the Library Hides by Isabel Ibanez, which is, I talked about that just a second ago. That may be like my most not controversial, but that's just the one that I have seen the most mixed reviews on that I have read this year, is Where the Library Hides, because so many people loved it and so many people like hated it. And I get it, because like there were some things that were like maybe a little outlandish, but I loved it. I loved it. So I would say that's probably the one that I enjoyed most, that I have also seen the most mixed reviews on. So we are going to go Where the Library Hides by Isabel Ibanez. I loved it. I thought it was great. Like, if you like ancient Egypt and all that kind of thing, and like mysteries and fantasy mysteries and all that, I would fully recommend The Secrets of the Nile duology, because it was so good, and I thought the series ended well. Others may disagree, but my mind will not be changed because I loved it. I loved it. Series that I want to finish by the end of the year. One that I am currently reading the last book of is the Maid series by Nita Prose, the last one released earlier this year. You will have seen it if you have watched my June TBR. I spoke about this one. I do want to finish that one, and also the Emily Wilde series. I just finished book 2 and I'm currently reading book 3. So those two I'm finishing soon. But those two I definitely want to finish, and I'm trying to think of others. I feel like there are none really that like I want to have finished by the end of the year, so I'm going to say those two definitely, because those are two that I've been reading for like almost 2 years, mainly because they haven't been finished. But I do want to finish those. Oh, one I really want to get to is The Maze Runner. I read the first 2 books last year. I'm going to have to do a reread on those two, but that's fine because I love them. But The Maze Runner, I really want to get to the rest of the series this year. So we'll say The Maze Runner, the Maid series, and Emily Wilde. Those are the 3 that I definitely want to finish. 2 I'm about to finish. Hooray. And then 1 I definitely want to get to later this year. Okay, this is kind of fun. This is 5-star predictions for the second half of 2025. I feel like definitely Not Quite Dead Yet. That's going to be 5 stars. And Alchemy of Secrets, I think, has a good shot of being 5 stars. This is another series I want to make progress in, and I feel like book 4 could be a 5-star. It is the Veronica Speedwell series by Deanna Raybourn. I have read the first 3 books. They were also good. I especially like the 3rd one. So I feel like A Dangerous Collaboration. Do I know the plot? No. Do I know that I love the series? Yes. So I feel like that could be a 5-star. That might be a 5-star, honestly. But I feel like Dangerous Collaboration, Not Quite Dead Yet, Alchemy of Secrets, those are all good contenders. I feel like The Maze Runner Book 3, The Death Cure, that could be a 5-star. And then this one, I have kind of forgotten like a lot of the plot summary, but I bought it a few months ago. It is The House on Vesper Sands by, I'm going to butcher this, O'Donnell Paraic? I don't know. I'll put the picture, obviously. But that one, it's, I think, like set in like the 19th century London, and it's a murder mystery, and it sounds really good. I feel like I've seen mixed reviews on that one, but I feel like it has a shot at being maybe a 5-star. So I feel like those are some like off the bat that I'm seeing that I think could be 5 stars. I don't really have 5-star predictions, just vibes. And one more is Games Untold by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. That is like the 4 like novellas in one that is the Inheritance Game series, obviously. I feel like that also has a shot at being 5 stars, just because of the Nash and Libby story that's going to be in there that I know I'm going to love already. So yeah, we're going to go with those as my 5-star predictions. Okay, the penultimate question is, will you reach your reading goal or will you change it? I don't know. I might reach it, but also that's like 128 books from now till the end of the year. If I change it, I'll probably just drop it to like 150 or 175, which is still a ton of books, and I would still be so glad to hit that many. So we will see. It's like a toss-up right now because I'm close enough that if I hit like a few weeks of like non-stop reading, I'll be back on track. If I don't, I'll just lower it a little bit, which is fine because that is so many books anyway. Like 82 is already amazing. So if I only read like 100 or 100, I'll read more than 100, I'm sure, because it's June. If I end up reading like 150 or 175, I'm good with that. I'm going to still shoot for 200 and like reevaluate in like November. So that I can't really answer yet because it's a toss-up. It could go either way. We will see. Hopefully I meet my goal. If not, I'll still have read so many books and already so many good books that I'm going to be happy either way. And then the final question, real quick before my camera battery dies, is any new goals for the rest of the year? Honestly, no. Like, I want to read plenty of library books, and I want to enjoy the books that I'm reading, and I want to clear my physical TBR. I've got like 40 books that I own and have never read. I want to do that, and then there are a few series that I do want to reread maybe, but I want to enjoy the books I read, I want to get books from the library, and I want to clear my physical TBR, and I also want to buy books that I think I'm going to enjoy, and like not just buy a book to buy a book, because I feel like that has happened to me multiple times. So yes, those, if I have any new goals, it's probably just that. And like I said, I'm talking really fast because my camera battery is flashing at me, so I'm going to wrap this up. If you made it this far, thank you so much, because I know this was so chaotic. Things are going to be better next week because I actually have a real video planned, but I feel like this was just kind of fun doing the mid-year freakout tag because we are somehow halfway through 2025, but let me know what your reading plans for the next half of 2025 are in the comments, and thank you so much if you made it this far. Please excuse the chaotic energy, but I think that is all for today, and I hope I will see you in the next video.